Alright, welcome back to our Jing series. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to actually use Jing. Okay, so we've already downloaded and installed it. I've created a shortcut on my desktop just so it was easier to see. You may still have to go to Start, Programs, and TechSmith, and then click on Jing. Again, that's Start button, Programs, and then look for TechSmith, and then inside TechSmith you'd see Jing. Okay, alright, so here's my Jing shortcut. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it, and we'll get a big yellow sun that starts up and then seats itself at the top middle of your screen. Okay, now when I do this, mouse over it, you get the capture emblem, which would be for you to set a size, an area on your screen to record. This is a history of things that you've done on Jing, and here is the more features and settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, because chances are when you first started your Jing up, it asks you whether or not you have an account and whether you need to create one. So I'm going to recreate that process for you. So for me to do that, let me go over these buttons first. Here's how you would exit out of Jing, and that would make that disappear. Help area, preferences is which we're going to go to first. Send feedback if you want to give them some feedback, and if you're finished. Don't worry about GoPro. We don't need the pro features. We just need the free features for the things that we want to do. It's very powerful. Alright, so let's get to where you're probably at. So I'm going to click on preferences, and I'm going to say manage accounts. It already knows who I am. I'm going to pretend that it doesn't. So you're seeing probably a screen that looks like this. Now I have my account email in there. You're probably going to have to create a new account unless by some strange sense you've already created it or you had used Jing before. So I'm going to pretend I'm a brand new user. I'm going to say create a new account. Alright, for me to create a new account, I have to put in my email. So whatever that email address is. Okay, I just made that one up. That's not real. The display name that you'd want to see, and whatever that password is. So once you put in your password and everything, you can say create, and it will create you an account, and that would be your user or your email address that you would use to access the account, and the password. Okay, so now you have to make sure you say create, and then you'll be able to log in. Make sure you write all this information down too, because you probably were going to have to use Jing a couple of times or over a period of a day or two before you finish your project. So make sure you know how to log back into your account. Okay, nothing more frustrating than not being able to get in or have access to the tools you need. Alright, so I'm already a member, so I'm just going to say use existing account, and it already remembers my username or my email. So I'm going to put in my password and sign in, and now I'm back to where I was. Okay, so anyway, just to back up again, let's finish out of that. We started here. I went to the more area, and then inside the more area we have these features. I want to go back into preferences real quick just to make sure you know. If you don't want that yellow ball to pop up every time your machine starts up, uncheck that box. You don't want it to launch on startup. That means as your computer would start up, it's part of the startup process and would always show up there. Chances are you're not going to be using it that often, and you don't need to have it there. You can also tell it to hide the sun, but it's still there. So like when you did this little mouse up to the top of your window, the sun would pop up. But again, you're not usually going to be using Jing that often, so it's okay just to have it normally start from a shortcut or from the start button, start in programs. So I keep both those unchecked, and I'm not going to set up hotkeys or anything like that. Here we have what kind of video format. Now this is SWF. Now we've talked about a few things, but SWF is flash video, and that's typical for the internet. And if you go to the pro version, you would be MPEG-4, but you don't need it. SWF will be fine for what we're going to be using. Okay, and I'm going to say that that's okay, and I'm going to finish out of that. So again, if I went back up there, you should see that those changes have taken form. See, my unchecked boxes are there, and I'm good. Alright, so I'm going to finish out of that. Now we're going to work on how to actually do a screen capture. So I'm going to go ahead and start on selecting an area. So by clicking that button with the crosshairs on it, it wants me to select an area that I want to record. So right there you can see what kind of size I have. I'm just going to keep it within the window I already have, and I'm going to click. And now down here, don't know if you can see that or not. See if I can get that where you can see it. Okay, I moved my screen down here so you can see the tools that come up with Jing once you set the screen size. Alright, so here is capture an image, capture video, record webcam with Jing Pro, so that's not an option for us right now. Redo a selection, that means if you wanted to redo your screen size, or just cancel out of what we've done because you no longer want to record. So let's start with capture an image. So let's get something up on the screen here for you. I'm going to have to move my cursor again.